This series aren't just shows you're gonna binge on a lazy weekend. These 10 shows will change the way you see yourself as a woman. Whether you're healing, leveling up, or just looking for characters that get you, this list is a must-watch. I will cover my list 10 to 1, with number 1 being the most important show for every woman to watch. Stick till the end, and I promise your Netflix list will be full for a long time. Hi there, my name is Alena. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about female psychology through the lens of famous TV shows and movies. If that sounds like your thing, hit the subscribe button and stick around. And let's get started. Number 10 on our list is The Crown. The Crown is one of only 2 shows on this list that is based on real events. And yes, all of the characters in this show existed or still exist in real life. It tells us the story of British royal family with a strong focus on Elizabeth II as the main character. So from the start, we have a strong female as our lead. And while she is the central figure, we have a plethora of fascinating female characters in this show. What makes her stand out as a female lead is that she embodies dignified, feminine strength. In the beginning of the show, we see a woman who is shy and uncertain, who was not supposed to be a queen. So she wasn't born a queen, but she becomes the Queen of England, dignified and powerful. What's most compelling is that while being the highest authority in the country, she deals with typically female problems. She is the queen of one of the most powerful countries, but at the same time, she is a wife to a very strong-willed man. And remember that at that time when they got married, husband always held the authority over his wife. Even today, many women struggle in a relationship when they are more successful than their partners. The Crown explores these dynamics beautifully. We see Elizabeth navigate the power, the politics, the loneliness with impossible grace.
And your mother, and your sister, and the children, and the extended family, and the church, and the Commonwealth, and the country. The whole ghastly relentlessness of it all. The fact it never stops, not for a minute. I understand all that.
Do you really?
Then there is Princess Margaret, Queen's only sibling. And it feels like being the spare in the royal household is really challenging. I mean, we are witnessing it now firsthand with Prince Harry, isn't it? When the royal family only has 2 children, one is the heir, his destiny is set, but the other one is left to figure out where do they fit. That's exactly Princess Margaret's story. Even though these problems seem unfamiliar to us, so many women struggle with finding their place in this world, and this is very relatable. She is caught between expectations and her own desire, between her royal role and her passion. She never really learned how to love herself, how to be her own person outside of the system, and because of that, she doesn't understand who she is. She clings to other people for support.
I know I appear strong, but I'm not. Peter is the only one who knows how to calm me, to reassure me, protect me. Don't tell me you understand that. You don't know for a minute what it is to be unhinged.
And of course, later we meet Princess Diana. And if you haven't watched my video on her, I will leave the link in the description box. She enters the story as an 18-year-old girl and evolves into a strong, independent woman with her own voice, who dares to speak out about the injustices that she sees. Diana's story tackles a very important question for so many women. What if your life seems perfect on the outside, but you're still unhappy? Do you have a right to speak up about it? Crown is absolutely worth watching. Every episode feels like a movie. It's stunning, emotional, and so respectful to the participants of the events. Number 9 is the favorite show of mine, Friends. I wanted to mix some fun, easy-to-watch series into this list, but Friends is not just a goofy sitcom. It's honestly an encyclopedia about what it feels to be in your 20s, this uncomfortable age when you are trying to figure out who you are and where you fit in this world. And when you look at the female characters specifically, Friends gives us so many relatable experiences. Let's take Monica, for example. She is a perfectionist, but under the surface, she is a woman who was never good enough for her own mother.
You bet that I'd screw up?
Come on, have a sense of humor. You're never able to laugh at yourself.
That's right. My mom doesn't have any faith in me. Oh, that's hilarious.
So many women carry that wound. They believe that if they were perfect enough, they will finally be loved. This wound shows up in her relationships too, like when she dated a man of her father's age. That wasn't random. But the beautiful thing about her is she chooses to walk away from him because their life goals don't align, even though she loves him so much. That takes serious emotional strength. How many of us couldn't leave relationships with people who clearly want good for us because we were so emotionally attached to them? Then there is Rachel, who starts the show by running out on her wedding and running away from her controlling rich father. She trades a very comfortable life for complete uncertainty to build something of her own, to become her own woman.
Welcome to the real world. It sucks. You're gonna love it.
And even if your father is not a millionaire like Mr. Green, you probably know the feeling of craving for change, or maybe of even starting things from scratch. Rachel messes up, starts over, fights for her dreams. And by the end of the series, she's not just a daughter her father is proud of. She is a woman she is proud of. She is someone who truly built her own identity. Friends is a comfort show, yes, but it's also a mirror of becoming a grown-up, becoming a woman. By the way, share in comments which of these shows you have watched and which one shaped you the most. Number 8. Downton Abbey. Downton Abbey is one of those shows that seem calm and paced on the surface, but if you look deeper, you will discover emotional depth and psychological insight, especially when it comes to women. What I absolutely love about Downton Abbey is that it shows us women from different generations, navigating their roles in the world that tells them who they shall be. And each of them responds to this pressure in her own unique way. One of the deepest storylines in this series is about loss and how it shapes a woman's identity. The show asks, what happens if you lose the love of your life? Who do you become if the man you loved is gone? How do you survive and get up and show up when you are knocked down by the grief? Then there is a question so many women face. How do I become my own person when society is throwing so many expectations on me as a woman? Several of the characters push against the traditional roles of a woman of their time and of our time, to be very honest, with different results. It's challenging, it's not easy, but all of them manage to come back to their true selves. One of the most beautiful arcs in the show belongs to Lady Edith. Even I, when I rewatched the show second time, didn't remember that she even existed. She's not the pretty one. She's the one that's often overlooked and forgotten. And beauty, sadly, is still considered biggest female value for some people. Slowly, painfully, she carves out her own space in her family and in the world, finding happiness on her own terms. She is a powerful reminder that even if other people overlook you, you are worthy and deserve of your own voice.
It never occurred to me.
Just shut up! I don't know what's happened. Tom's made you feel bad. Or Papa. Or maybe it's just the same old Mary. He wants her cake and hate me too.
I never meant to.
Yes, you did! Who do you think you're talking to?
Then, of course, there is Mary, her elder sister, the emotionally distant one, the cold one. Her story is complex. She loses the man she loved, sorry for the spoiler, and when she becomes a mother, after the death of her husband, you realize she doesn't connect very easily with her child. That's something so rarely shown in the media, a mother that's struggling to feel love for her child. The society tells us that we shall automatically feel love for our child, that we all must adore our children. But what if we don't feel it straight away? It's a very real female experience. Each woman on the Downton Abbey teaches us something about what it means to be a woman in the men's world. Number 7. Revenge. Revenge is probably one of the lesser known shows on my list, but trust me, it's absolutely worth watching, especially first seasons. This show is a masterclass of female rage, women's power, and emotional trauma. At the center of the story is a girl named Emily Thorne, who comes back to a rich town, Hamptons, not to enjoy the luxury, but to get back at people who destroyed her life and her family. A rich family her father used to work for framed him for a terrible crime, put him to prison, and made Emily an orphan. Right away, we realize that she is not this typical female lead. She is calculated, emotionally cold, and detached. You are not always sure whether she is the victim or the villain. Underneath all that is a girl who was broken and never really healed. That's what makes her so powerful and so tragic at the same time. Revenge raises some very important questions. Can a woman single-handedly take down a rich, powerful family that wronged her? How much strength does that require? Can you truly move on from such trauma without the closure? And what happens when your pain becomes your personality?
The way you love absolutely everything and absolutely everyone. You promised me that you're never going to lose that.
I thought you came here to honor your father.
I just did.
There is something incredibly cathartic about watching a woman take back her power. But as the show goes on, you see how isolating it truly is. Revenge takes a toll, not just on her enemies, but on her too. What happens when something that gave you strength and purpose starts destroying you from the inside? Is it worth clinging to your revenge so much? The show is full of complicated female characters. Look for Victoria, you will love that character. So layered, so complicated, so evil. It's a drama and a psychological study about how far a woman can go to achieve her goals. It's time to add some fun series to watch on the list, and number 6 is Modern Family, a fun, easy to watch family sitcom. If you look deeper, however, it gives us a very good portrayal of what it means to be a woman at different stages of life. We have 3 women from 3 generations, Claire, Gloria, and Haley, all trying to figure out their place, their roles of mother, daughter, or just a woman in the modern world. Claire is classic have-it-all-together mom. She is responsible, reliable, she keeps everything in her own hands. If you look closer, you will see how hard it is to be always the reliable one. How hard it is to ask for help when you feel like you don't have a right to do that. We see a woman who is a wife and mother and loves her children and husband deeply, but also resents them for the pressure she has on herself.
Kids!
That is so... Kids, get down here!
Then there is beautiful and bold Gloria. People will often dismiss you if you look that gorgeous. But Gloria is incredibly smart and intuitive woman. She is a second wife of a rich husband, trying to prove that she truly loves him, trying to prove that she truly belongs, and she is truly committed to this new family of hers. She navigates power dynamics in this new family, her own cultural identity, and motherhood all at once. Finally, there is Haley. Parents' disappointment, college dropout, the shallow one. Turns out to have one of the most relatable coming-of-age arcs. She is learning to be someone beyond her pretty face. She's learning to love others, to be a deeper person. Later, this irresponsible young girl becomes a wife and a mother and taps into this new role.
Haley, I know that you are committed to breastfeeding and the book, but I think it's time that you considered formula. It will help the baby sleep, and the pediatrician said it is perfectly healthy.
I'm living proof. I was a formula baby, had a full set of teeth at 6 months.
Yeah, but the book says...
The book!
What do you have against my book?
Modern Family might not scream female empowerment, but it gives us a very honest look at the female roles that we all play, being mother, wife, daughter, and so on. Number 5, and brace because this show is really traumatic. It is called Under the Bridge. It's probably the darkest and the most haunting story on this list. And yes, it is based on real events. Every character is drawn from real life, and it makes it way more haunting and disturbing and traumatic. At the first glance, it's a murder mystery. A young teenage girl was murdered, and we want to know who done it. But this murder is really emotionally complex because the perpetrators are also young teenage girls. It's a raw look at female rage, peer pressure, teenage insecurity, and the emotional desperation that builds up when girls are neglected and unheard.
Hey, let's go under the bridge. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So tight. Come on, here. Come on.
The show is layered with deep emotional questions. How far can a young girl go to be accepted by her peers? How does it feel to lose your emotional compass in the process? Are there victim and villains in this story, or they are all just victims? You will also see women of different generations, the teenage girls, their teachers, their parents, the investigators, all dealing with the grief and consequences of this terrible event. What could they have done differently? Why didn't they see it coming? And how will justice look in this case? It's heavy, it's emotional, it's not easy to watch. It is truly a cautionary tale, and maybe this is something we all might learn from. Number 4, an all-times classic, and the City. No list of shows for women could be complete without it. At its core, it's a story about 4 different women, best friends, who are trying to navigate their careers, their relationships in their early 30s in the New York City. What makes this show truly unique is its honesty about portraying the emotional contradictions that women have to deal with. Carrie, Miranda, Charlotte, and Samantha are all parts of a modern woman, and at different times you will relate to all of them. Carrie is the romantic, looking for love, questioning her worth, trying to find her voice and her place. She is messy, emotional, selfish at times, but very real. She reminds us that being confused is part of the process.
Enid, with all due respect, men I may not know, but shoes I know.
Miranda shows us the struggle of a successful, ambitious woman. She wants to be successful in her career, but also she doesn't know how to combine her feminine role with it, how to remain soft, and does she have a right for softness? She fights with guilt and loneliness and fear of being too much, and the fear of getting attached to somebody. Charlotte is the traditional one who wants to be a wife and a mother. She was raised to believe in fairy tales, and her journey is about realizing that the life she wanted doesn't always look exactly how she imagined it. And then we have bold, unapologetic Samantha, and she has moments of deep vulnerability. Under all that confidence facade is a woman who feels deeply and wants to be understood and also needs love and support.
Let me be here for you. Listen, this is very intense and you're being very sweet, but there is no way that you can relate to what I'm going through. What are you doing? No, you can't. Your hair's your thing.
Chill out, I'm busy.
And the City is filled with fashion and fun dating stories, but deep inside, it's about female identity. Who you are when you're not defined by title, society expectations, by a man. Are you brave enough to find that out? If you haven't watched it yet, or haven't rewatched it as a wiser, elder version of yourself, Sex and the City absolutely must be on your list. Number 3, Ginny and Georgia. I was looking for the 10th show for this list for quite some time. And then I've discovered Ginny and Georgia and I instantly knew it must be on this list. Ginny and Georgia is one of those shows that grow on you, and it really surprised me. At first, it feels like a quirky drama about young mother and her teenage daughter, but it quickly becomes something so much deeper and darker. What I love about this show is that it shows female experience at 2 different stages of life, from the point of view of mother and from the point of view of daughter. Through Georgia, we see what it means to be a young single mom, how she fights for her family, and she manages to survive no matter what. And through Ginny, we see the struggle of growing up, of finding your own identity, of trying to fit in, of discovering who you are. And at the core of all of this is their relationship between mother and daughter. It's messy, emotional, difficult at times, and very real. It brings up question: how do you become a good mother when you never had a good mother yourself, when you have no example? And how do you become a worthy mother when you're still healing from your own abuse trauma? Georgia is strong, confident, manipulative, and underneath all that is a survivor. A woman shaped by the trauma who learned early on that femininity can be a powerful weapon and that love is not always safe. And then we have biracial, insecure young Ginny, who is trying to fit in, but also trying to stay true to her own self. She learns to accept herself and truly discovers herself in the process. This show explores so much: abuse, trauma, peer pressure, mental health, female rage, identity, and it does it through such charming characters that you can't help but like them. Ginny and Georgia is about survival and about female power in a very complicated and dark form. So if you're looking for series that's easy and entertaining to watch, but also that has deeper meaning, this is the one. Number 2, of course, I couldn't not put it on the list: Desperate Housewives. One of the most iconic shows about females and also a psychological masterclass. At first, it looks like a soapy drama filled with affairs and gossip. But if you look closer, you will notice that it's about deep emotional life of a woman. This show is brilliant at exploring complex female characters. None of them is one-dimensional. Brie is the perfectionist, the woman who looks perfect on the outside, but is broken on the inside, the woman who is not accepted by her own family. She is obsessed with control because control makes her feel safe. Watching her hold on to that perfect image while her life is truly unraveled girls is so painful and relatable. Lynette is an ambitious working mom of 4, constantly torn between her family responsibilities and motherhood guilt and her own ambition. She is the strong one, and everybody expects her to pull the weight, to hold it all together. But sometimes she just doesn't want to be the strong one. She needs help and rest. Susan, emotional, kind, messy, hopeful. She's constantly searching for love and constantly messing it all up, but her unwavering belief in love and better future, despite all of the trauma and betrayal she goes through, is what makes her likable. And then we have Gabrielle, the person who would be judged the most, the selfish one, the shallow one. But underneath that is a woman who grew up unsafe, unprotected, abused. Her confidence is her armor, her facade. But over the course of the series, she transforms the most. She becomes so much deeper. She learns who she is and becomes something more than just a pretty face.
My whole life, people told me how pretty I was. So you know what? I never thought I had to work hard in school or work on friendships or my personality. None of it. And then I stopped modeling and I realized I didn't have much on the inside. I don't want that for you.
Desperate Housewives shows us complexity, the contradictions of being a woman, how you can be messy and loving, hold it all together and fall apart, be ambitious but also be very dedicated to your own family. And by the way, I'm doing a series on Desperate Housewives, breaking down every episode. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. Number 1 on my list, drumroll, Handmaid's Tale. In my opinion, it's the most important show on the list. It's dark and at times hard to watch, but it's also necessary. Handmaid's Tale is not just fiction, it's cautionary tale. It shows what happens when the power is taken away from women. The show is set in dystopian future, but everything seems so familiar and so painfully possible. In fact, the author of the original book, Margaret Atwood, famously said that she didn't invent anything. Every fact, every abuse, every power move she took from somewhere. It happened somewhere in real life. What makes it so terrifying is that we see how quickly it happens. One day, women have jobs, money, voices, and the next day, everything is stripped away from them. Now they can have their own bank accounts and they are property of others. And it all happens quietly at first. Nobody rebels because nobody fully understands what's going on.
Hey, you have all my money now. So, congratulations.
Come on. Well, you know I'll take care of you.
Christ. Well, that's not what he's saying.
What? What's wrong?
Nothing. It sounds a little patronizing.
So fucking patronizing.
Go on, bring it on. I want to hear why I shouldn't take care of my wife.
My wife?
Yeah.
She doesn't belong to you.
That's right.
No. She isn't your property, and she doesn't need you to take care of her. See, that's where all of this comes from. You want to take care of us because we're weak, right? Because we're less than.
Yes, exactly. It's exactly what I'm saying.
I'll take care of your money.
Yeah.
I'll take care of your body. You really got a fucking problem. You know that?
At the center of it all is June, a woman who refuses to give up even when everything, including her own body, is taken away from her. She is not perfect. She is vengeful, complicated, and strong. Her story is about survival and staying yourself even when it seems impossible, even when everything is taken away from you and you are powerless. The Handmaid's Tale confronts the reality where we are only seen as mothers, wives, objects. What would you do to protect your child? How far will you go to resist oppression? Are you ready to fight for your freedom? What happens to your soul when you've been pushed too far? This show will not leave you feeling comfortable, but that's the point. It's not entertainment. It's a mirror. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you got a lot of ideas about which show you shall watch next. Which other TV shows shaped you as a woman? Please share in the comments to extend my list for all of us. And if you're interested in movie psychology, check out the videos I will leave in the description box where I'm breaking down the psychology of 50 Shades of Grey, Desperate Housewives, and other famous movies and TV series. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and I will see you in my new video. Bye bye.